Good day, first world travellers, and welcome back to another video from Mexico City. Now, this video is a little bit different, okay? It is a travel video, don't worry, even though I'm in my Airbnb at the moment. Firstly, before I go on to this, just want to apologise if there is any noise in the background. You're just going to have to live with it, because this is Mexico City. You know, so yesterday, basically, I went to IZTACCIHUATL Volcano. Yes, I said it right. At least I think I did anyway. And it was epic. It was brilliant, amazing, wonderful. However, you know, I did plan to film a proper, you know, fully edited travel video about this trip, but I didn't for a couple of reasons. So firstly, which you will see in a moment, the weather was diabolical. Anyone that was in Mexico City yesterday, that was Tuesday, May the 8th, well, no, it wasn't fantastic. And obviously up a volcano, it's not going to be great with fog and cloud, that kind of thing. So in terms of the shots I could get, it was just never going to happen. The second thing is, it's a bit of a story actually as well. So when I was in Ecuador in 2009, I climbed Volcan Cotopaxi, okay? And it was on the second day of my trip. And I was very naive back then. I didn't realise that I needed to give my body time to adjust to the altitude, which I didn't in that case. And I literally almost died of collapsed lungs. So this time, one reason why I'm doing this a bit later into my trip is so that I have adjusted, if you know what I mean. I'm fine at this altitude now, but at the altitude of 4,000 meters, which is what IZTACCIHUATL is, it is a bit of an issue. And to be honest with you, I was more worried about my health and being able to actually breathe oxygen than actually filming a proper video. But even so, I did film some stuff. Hopefully this gives you a bit of an idea of what you can expect if you do this trip. I did do a tour. It was with Amigo Tours, and the woman who was the guide, and I've forgotten her name, was it? Oh, Jocelyn or Josephine. It was Jocelyn. You can check out her Instagram down below. Sorry, Jocelyn, if you're watching. Oh, I'm going to go and check if the name's right. Fuck. So anyway, let's move on to the IZTACCIHUATL trip. Vamos, chicas. Hurry up. This is hard work. Gotta remember, breathe through your nose, get more oxygen in. And don't be afraid of taking frequent breaks. Problem is, my natural instinct is to breathe through my mouth in this case, so forget about your instincts. So we're climbing up 800 meters. Whatever it's called, and Popocatépetl is over there. Obviously you can't see it. I'm kind of behind the fast fit people, but miles ahead of the slow people. Yes, let's continue. And whenever we get somewhere where I'm not having heart failure, I will tell you the story of these two volcanoes, which is really interesting. It actually is this time. Amazing. So we're about halfway now, I believe. Just an example, just this little rocky bit here. It doesn't look like much, but at this altitude it is literally like climbing Mount Everest. And I also need a poo, so I'm gonna have to try and find somewhere in a bush to do it. Beautiful. I'm a bit of a loner on this volcano climb because I'm too slow to keep up with the marathon runners, but also I'm a lot faster than the fat people. So yeah. Oh look, there's the marathon runners up there. So we're now, I'm gonna sneeze. Bless me. So we're now at 4,100 meters. Basically Popocatépetl, the active volcano, is over there. Can't see it. And IZTACCIHUATL is that way. And the highest point of this volcano is 5,100. So we're only 1,000 meters away from the summit. Amazing. I'm going to go to the toilet now. Don't look. And I'll come back and tell you the story. The magical story. The story of these volcanoes is that in ancient times, whatever her name is, Izzy, let's call that all of that, was a woman, and Popocatépetl was a man. He was a warrior, and the father of Izzy said basically he was going to send all the warriors to war, and whoever came back with the enemy's head could marry his daughter, Izzy. And she was madly in love with him basically, and what happened was she found out that this guy had died, he'd been killed,
So she went to a local witch, and got back some poison, basically, and killed herself due to grief. Boo-hoo. But it turned out that he wasn't dead, and he came back to find her and found her sleeping. And basically, the gods then made Popocatépetl, the active volcano, and this one was the woman. IZTACCIHUATL. Yes. Wonderful. So all in all, this has been a horrendous, well, horrendous in a good way, because I'm close to death. I've had to do a poo under a rock. It's not all glam, this first world traveller business. Anyway, I'm going to have something to eat, we're going to go down. It's a real shame about the weather, because, you know, look, foggy, crap. But that is the luck of the draw. I thought I was lost for a minute, because the fast people have disappeared, the slow people have also disappeared, and I can't hear them. But luckily, I just walked past a thing on the wall that I recognise them coming up. I've been whistling, I've been shouting. So luckily, I'm not lost up a volcano. I feel like I'm storm chasing again, except having lung failure.
So that was the basic bit of the trip, okay? So tell you a bit about it. Amigo Tours, as I said, you get picked up about 6:30 in the morning, somewhere in Mexico City. It takes about 2 hours to get there. You then basically drive to a point on the volcano and then walk up, like I said, 800 meters up to 4,100 meters, which is amazing. And I guess the thing I would say, you know, as you can see in what I've just showed you in the footage, climbing at altitude can be horrific, especially if you're not particularly fit. You know, I'm not unfit, but I'm not, you know, like I said, a marathon runner, and I do smoke, you know, so that is an added issue. But I survived, and the key is, again, to breathe through your nose. Don't breathe through your mouth, because you get dizzy, you get nausea, and I often suffer from travel sickness as well. Claustrophobia, I get that in the bus as well. So if you are one of those people, I would still say do this kind of trip, because it's a great experience. But just remember that you need to look after yourself, and that's why I chose not to film a proper video, because I was actually concerned about my health. Some things are more important than YouTube. But despite the weather, the thing that really made my day was going to a small little town very close to Iztaccihuatl, oh, you know what I mean. And we had some blue corn quesadillas, which I'll show you now, which were quite possibly some of the best Mexican food I've ever had. It was cooked by locals, literally in the middle of nowhere. You know, the blue corn quesadillas, which I learned something, is an actual different type of corn. A bit like you get red apples and green apples, or red peppers and yellow peppers. I didn't know this. How ignorant am I? And various fillings from chicken, cheese, chorizo, this other meat they had, which was local to the area. I don't know what kind of meat it was, but it was very nice. And I had 3 of them, and I could have had plenty more. And that was really the best part of the day, because not only did we get to climb a volcano, but we also got to spend some time with locals, eating proper local food. That is what travel is about. So all in all, it was a brilliant day. I'm going to put all the details about it in the description below, so you can check it out if you're coming to Mexico City. Why don't you tell me, if you're Mexican, have you been to this place? Or maybe you might not be Mexican, you might be like me. But, you know, tell me about your experience. Did you get better views? Did you get to see Popocatépetl in the distance? That would have been awesome. You know, I've been up a lot of volcanoes in my time. If you want me to do a video about the multitude, the plethora of volcanoes I've been up in the past, write that down in the comments below. That would be great. Wonderful. So apologies that this video is a bit shit. Oh, pardon my French. But it was either upload this or upload nothing. So I chose to upload something. And coming next, you know, one thing that everyone has said to me is go to Santa Fe. And guess what I'm doing tomorrow? I'm going to Santa Fe. So there'll be a video, hopefully at the weekend, where I'm going to go to Parque Mexicana. I'm going to go to the biggest shopping mall in Latin America, etc. So you have that to look forward to, and loads of videos coming from next week as well. It's my last week in Mexico City next week, but I will be back. Don't panic. I've just today booked my entire travel across Puebla, Oaxaca, Merida, Cancun, Isla Holbox, Cuba and Colombia. So there's lots to come. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, as I've said a million times, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.